What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Salute to everybody that makes it in. Salute to anybody watching the replay. I'm gonna try to run through this quick. It's kind of late, man. Been a long day. But uh, asked myself come up yesterday, so I had to postpone it. But I definitely wanted to talk about this tank situation real quick. Now, I have been, I'm gonna just get right into it. People come in, cool. If not, it's out there. So I have been one of the people that has been highly critical of Tank's recent business moves and fight choices and stuff like that. His level of opponent. Very critical of it. But the only reason why I've been so critical is because I believe in Tank. I believe in Tank's ability. He don't need protection. Those of you that were around for my first run on my channel, I did a live stream way back on my birthday, and it said it was called Peas in the Pod, and I had 3 Ps, and it was Canelo, Tank, and Bud. And I was talking about how they're starting to move all very similar. Their fan bases are all starting to become to speak and argue the same, use the same weird tactics. And I remember saying, like, I don't like this because Tank don't need that. He don't need a Justice League. He don't need a protection agency. Tank can beat everybody. Remember, um, people who know me know I rock with the Hanky's heavy. But up until recently, up until the Cambosis fights, I had Tank beating Dev. And Dev was one of my favorite fighters. But so is Tank. I always believed in Tank's ability. I was always one of the people who recognized his boxing ability before people finally seemed to notice it in the Eastside Cruz fight. I've been telling people like, no, I was always a fan of Tank because of his boxing ability and his boxing style. The power was awesome, of course. The knockouts, everybody loves knockouts. But like that was not even why I was a fan of Tank. I was a fan because of his boxing style. I was like, yo, this dude can box so beautifully, and like the way he was able to use his skill and ability to set up the shot. That's what I love the most. And the defense, when he chooses to be on point, the way he can dodge and the footwork, man. I was a huge fan of Tank's boxing ability on offense and defense. Hold on a second, let me make sure I get this right. Okay. I was a huge fan of Tank's defensive and offensive boxing ability. Like I said, I was always very critical of the business moves, the choice of opponent. I thought it was real similar to how Bud and Canelo moved. They had the ability, the power to make some of the big fights, and they were just not doing it, even though the ball was in their court. So that being said, another thing I was highly critical of, just like I was with Bud when he re-signed with Top Rank a couple of times, when we knew Top Rank was gonna mess him up, I was very critical of the unending loop with Tank and TMT. Just that never-ending conflict, that on again, off again, baby mama drama, messy, all out in the streets type of relationship him and Floyd had. Like that was just weird to me. I didn't like that again, and I felt like it didn't befit someone of Tank's stature, someone of his skill and his potential in the boxing game was being limited, in my opinion, by um, Floyd's supreme fighter mentality. Floyd has the MJ bug. It just is what it is. The same thing that pushed him to be such a great fighter, just like MJ to be such a great basketball player, is the same thing that makes them terrible in the office after the fact. They can't stop seeing people as opponents. Like it's just who they are. That's what made them so great. So it's not necessarily something to fault them on per se. It's just who they are. Everything ain't for everybody. So um, I always felt like Floyd's supreme competitive mentality kept him from pushing Tank to where he could really go. And I definitely felt like he was being held back during his career. Um, Clearly, there was something Floyd and the money team saw that they were uncomfortable with, and they didn't want to put Tank in certain competition. But I was another person, even back then, I was a huge supporter of, man, I don't care what y'all saw. I think Tank can do it. He don't need protection. That was always my thing. Like Tank don't need protection. This dude is a bad man. He can box along with the power. Like that's a bad man. And I know that there was something that Floyd and them were uncomfortable with putting Tank in with tough competition, but I didn't agree with that. Even if there is something there, you know what I'm saying? Like let him have the tough fights so that if it's there, it comes out and he can address it. You know what I mean? Because he's just so talented. Um, Man, I was real upset with how they were handling his career, and then there's just weirdness going on. The whole, the infamous clip with Floyd clearly threatening Tank with the Lomachenko fight, and it was just like, yo, like what is going on? Like, but over the years, I felt like that Tank that was present at that time that could be threatened with a Lomachenko fight, I felt like he grew and matured and his skills developed to a point where in my mind, and it has been this way for a few years, I was saying this before it became popular to say this, I think Tank Davis would knock Lomachenko unconscious. And I don't think it would be nearly as hard as people say either. Lomachenko's go-to move is to duck off in the direction of Tank's power hand. He ducks off to his right, hits a little shuffle with his footwork, shuffles off to his right to create an angle for his left hand. That's Loma's move essentially. T.O. exposed what to do with that. Jermaine Ortiz showed you another wrinkle with the same game plan. Like Tank will pick up on that so fast, bro. He'll knock Loma clean out. And Loma can't take pressure. He can't. It's for all his matrix and all this stuff. Loma can't fight off the back foot. Y'all notice that? He's supposed to be the matrix, Mr. High Tech, all these ballerina classes and all that. And bro can box off the back foot. Cannot handle pressure. What y'all think gonna happen when Tank get on the floor with this man? Like, come on, man. His defense is not that good, especially on the back foot. He gets hit a lot. He's vulnerable to the body, like we've seen now. Loma's kind of soft to the body. Can you imagine Tank walking him down, landing body shots on him? Both sides, the liver, the kidneys, hitting him in the back, the arms. And when Loma start to drop them hands, then he duck off to the right with his hands down. Good night. I think Taker set Loma up something so filthy, bro. And I think he would. I would have. I'm thinking that he would have done this for the past few years. I don't think this is something that just happened. I feel like Tank would have beat Loma for a while. Now, for sure, even a couple years ago when Loma was more in his prime, I felt like Tank would knock him clean out, and he'd do it with skill. His defense is better than Loma's when he's on his game. His chin is better. Power obviously that goes without saying. We don't even have to address that. I think Tank has a higher boxing ability. And I think again when he's focusing on point, I think Tank has a higher ring IQ. He's better off the back foot. Like Tank's just better than him all around to me. So, I, you know, that was weird that Floyd was like threatening him with that, and that kind of hung over Tank's career for a long time, kind of a black cloud, and I hated that. But so that was just another one of the things that you had to kind of look at. We have to be honest about and take that into account. But again, just like like I was honest and I penalized him for that. Again, my thing always was like, but yeah, but yes, we can admit the shortcomings and the things that are wrong and the bad things. But I still do believe in this young man, and I think his ability is through the roof, and I think he can beat anybody. So very, very upset when he would, go through this whole spin cycle with us and make us think that him and Floyd and Leonard was beefing so hard, and then just turn around and resign. Now maybe they actually were beefing, but he kept sticking around. Now maybe that was because they kept finding another addendum in the contract, another provision that prevented him from leaving at that time. Maybe that's what it was because he did end up kind of going public about that and complaining about the contract. So maybe there was something in there that was messing him up. I don't know, but like once you figured that out, like you stop going public. Then like acting like you're gonna leave if there's another provision that's gonna make you stay for a couple more fights or more years or whatever. So yeah, I didn't like that public spat him and Floyd had every time before he fought, and people will fall for it every time. Oh, it's a wrap. It's over now. Tank leave. He's leaving. You hear me? Him and Floyd. Hey, it's over. And then if promotion start, big old TMT logo on the banner. Leonard sitting right there, cheesing as big as ever, like the Cheshire Cat with shades on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Black Mr. Clean every single time. And so I stopped, worrying about it. I believe it when I see it. When I see Tank walk away, then I believe it. So that's another thing I've been highly critical of. And so in staying consistent and being fair, I have to give this man all the props in the world now that it looks like he officially has left the money team, bro. Like he officially left TMT, which is what I was asking him to do for the past couple of years. Not out of any hate for the money team. No disrespect to them. Floyd, like a lot of y'all know, Floyd is my favorite fighter. Um, he like, man, probably of all time. Wilder, Wilder's probably number one. But Floyd was, 1A. Like Floyd, man, Floyd was so cold. So this is no hate to them. But remember what I told you, Floyd got that MJ bug. So even though I knew Floyd did do some positive things for Tank's career, he did help build him up and set him on the path to stardom. And he did put him in some good positions. You know what I'm saying? He built him up to be the only young star on pay-per-view, and you know it was appears to all appearances it seems like Tank is the money man. It has been for a while. He made him into that name where people wanted to fight him even though they knew they were going to lose. Very Floyd-esque in that sense, where people knew they weren't going to beat Floyd, but the paycheck and the exposure was worth it to get beat up. You know what I'm saying? On pay-per-view. Like, let me get this money. I know I ain't going to beat this dude, but let me just get this money real quick, and it's going to be worth it. I think Robert Guerrero was bragging about it afterwards that he put his kids through college with that Floyd check. So Floyd did a good job of building Tank up to that level. And it was like, look, man, I know I'm gonna get knocked out. I know Tank gonna knock me unconscious sometime between like the sixth and the ninth round, but man, I'm gonna get paid though. Let me get this exposure. Let me get on this Floyd card. You know what I'm saying? Rub shoulders with the money team. Maybe can build some lasting business relationships. So props to Floyd for that. 100%. Getting Tank to be a young pay-per-view attraction. But that it's just all good things come to an end. And I feel like once it was clear that there was only so far, only so high Floyd really wanted Tank to kind of go. Um, I think once that became clear at that point, that's when I started looking at Tank like, okay, now at this point, because he kept saying it's time to take control of my career. It's time to take control of my career. He kept saying he wanted to fight, the top fighters, these other guys that have been breathing down his neck for years. But then the actions was not lining up because he kept resigning when he would stay with them. So now that we're here and I look up and I see it's announced once again that Tank done left the money team. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. He got another fight coming up. Surprise, surprise. Look at this. But then the advertisement starts coming out. You know what I mean? No TMT logo. Okay. They have the first press conference. Guess who ain't there? Guess who ain't sitting next to him grinning like the Cheshire Cat with shades on, Black Mr. Clean? Guess who ain't there? And I'm like, now if Leonard Ellaby ain't there, and you ain't heard them say nothing about this. Usually they be all on social media doing interviews and stuff, talking about how Tank the best fighter in the world and how much money he makes and how he's a pay-per-view star and how big of a star he is and how he's so much on a higher level than all his, he don't really have periods at 135. He's just a man, they be bigging him up super hard right now. But they've been strangely silent. And then he does the press conference, they're not there. They ask him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, And he's even Tank is very respectful, talking about the split. He doesn't bash Floyd, nothing like that. He just, kind of confirms, like, "Yeah, that's a wrap." And I'm, I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. Again, not to celebrate the ending of a long relationship or someone who had a mentor role. No, we're not celebrating that. That's not what this is about. It's about Tank taking control of his career and moving into that next phase. He was mentioning how he wants to retire soon. So like now is the time. The time is now he's 28. He's in his prime, but he's getting close to that 30. Y'all know that 30 is a pivotal in boxing years. That's very young, in real life. But 30, in sports, once you hit 30, things start to, change for you physically. So especially in boxing and Tank getting these fights now at this age I think is beautiful. Obviously, we wish he could have got him earlier, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean? Which was a fish. You know what I'm saying? So I am very, 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 very excited that he's taking control of his career and making this next transition. Still in his prime. The opponents that he wants to fight are steady making moves and continuing to step out into their own legacies, making their own names in the sport as well. So if we can get these fights soon, let's say uh, hypothetically, he not because let's be honest, he's gonna knock Hector Garcia clean out. And if you say otherwise, you're just hating. Uh, he, you're, like terrible. You're terrible. I shouldn't even put this on the screen. You're terrible. I'm not even getting into that. This is we giving the man his props tonight. I ain't even doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna let you pull me into that. Nope. Nope. So dang, I forgot what I was talking about now. Why you had to say that? But yeah, so after he knocks out Hector Garcia, which we all know is gonna happen, then do y'all think he's really gonna fight Ryan? Do y'all believe that yet? Now I believe it more now that I know he really I don't know he really is away from Floyd, but I don't know. I don't know if that affects my belief because that was the one fight that Floyd and the money team clearly did want to make. They wasn't really trying to fight Shakur and Dev right now, the Russells, none of that. But it did seem like they were very serious about building the Ryan fight. So I don't know. I don't think being away from Floyd really helps the my thinking on the Ryan fight per se. But the what y'all think? Y'all think he really gonna fight Ryan? I don't trust Ryan. It's not Tank. I think Tank really does want to fight him, and I have every faith that he's gonna also knock Ryan clean out, completely unconscious. But I I don't trust Ryan, bro. I just don't trust Ryan at all. I have no confidence in him whatsoever. I would not be surprised if they go through with everything. They start doing press for the fight. They even do maybe the first press conference, get everybody super hyped. They're doing interviews, face-off interviews. You know what I mean? They're doing the making the internet rounds and all the combat sports shows. And we get to like a month out, maybe 2 to 3 weeks out from the fight, and Ryan get an injury, bro. Like that's what I feel like is gonna happen. He's gonna hit the internet one of these super weak, heartfelt posts about inner strength and resilience and his disappointment with not being able to complete this quest and how he was so ready to knock Tank's head off and he's just so broken and but the real victims are the fans and he's most upset about how he had to let the fans down and rest assured I will make this up to you and then he'll pull out the Tank fight and his next fight will be against um you know Magnesium Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like what he'll talk about how this is part of his redemption tale, and this is him getting back to dominating the division. Like it'll be against somebody we never heard. That's what I think is gonna happen. He's gonna pull out and he's gonna fight somebody we never heard of. Ryan got to show me. He got to prove it to me. At this point, I don't trust him at all. I don't trust Oscar either, for that matter. Like, bro, that duo. That's a terrible tandem, bro. Uh, yeah. No, facts. I'm happy for him too. Again, not celebrating no negativity in that relationship. I'm just happy he gonna get a chance to really make these fights. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think it's at all. And if he does, you're gonna be able to hear the collective gasp and wails and the sounds of sorrow and sadness and deep despair and horror ring out across the skies as a giant band of casual morons just mourn the destruction of their idol Ryan Garcia before their very eyes. Seeing him get cracked like a dang speed bag and watching his jaw in slow mo rotate away from the rest of his skull and his face do that weird thing where it turned into putty and it don't even look human anymore. And seeing the way his neck gonna turn and like the punch that he throws, it just goes nowhere, and the way his body just limply falls to the canvas. Seeing that, you're gonna hear it. There's gonna be a sound on the wind, and you're gonna think it's a bunch of women wailing, but it's not. It's gonna be dudes. It's gonna be dudes. It's gonna be grown men. Some of them gonna be on the broadcast. Watch. Man, if they end up doing that joint broadcast with Showtime and the Zone broadcasters, they're gonna be some of the part of the people making the noise. They're gonna have to cut their mics. I guarantee you. Oscar doesn't want his boys. Mark can be right. Yeah. I don't know. So before this, I would say, yeah, Oscar, he ain't trying to risk no injury to his prize toy. But I think because Ryan's getting older, um, Oscar might be at the point where he's ready to kind of cash out on it because they understand where Ryan's at in his development. He probably because of his own dedication to the craft, he probably will never catch the other young kings around his weight class, around his age. I think maybe Oscar's realizing he'll never catch them. There ain't no amount of steroids in the world that's going to give him enough dedication and skill to be able to beat a Devin, a Tank, a Shakur. I mean, I feel like you better fight. I would not favor him against Frank Martin or Michelle Rivera. Honestly, you know they got to watch out for the left hook and the right straight. First few rounds, but I don't know. I don't have no faith in it. Oscar's a real fighter. He's a real boxer, so he might be making some calculations in his head and being like, okay, let me cash out on this and do this big thing before it's too late, and before he gets exposed by somebody terrible. Because Ryan, the type of dude, they gonna mess around and throw him in there with a cherry, and he gonna pick a pepper. I think that's what Oscar afraid of. He don't want to take the risk no more. He's like, all right, let me get this bread. Maybe a little pressure too. Maybe feeling some of the pressure. The fans is like, all right, we done with y'all shenanigans. Y'all can't keep clout chasing. We know what's up. So maybe it's the end of the road. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just don't trust Ryan, bro. Especially if he destroy Garcia, the first Garcia, the real Garcia. Because make no mistake, Hector Luis Garcia is the real one. He's an Olympian and a two-time and a unified champion at his weight class. So I ain't trying to hear that. And he beat a slick black fighter. So what's up? He legitimized in that sense as far as boxing goes. But when Ryan sees the absolute horrific destructive fashion when Tank knocks out Hector Luis Garcia, they're gonna start formulating that escape plan right then on the spot, right then and there. Oh snap! We got one of the kings of this YouTube, man. Listen, my bro, I'm so happy for my bro. What's good, Jess? Appreciate you stopping by, sliding through, brother. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. I'm about to get the channel back. About to start doing this content, but I'm trying something new. I'm gonna try to switch to doing some on camera stuff. Um, I got to the point I was like, you know what? Like the stuff that I'm saying, my points, my beliefs. I want to do a pound for pound list, some year end awards, all that good stuff. I was like, everything that I'm saying, I'm willing to stand on and put my face on. So I was like, I just realized a lot of people be hiding behind icons. You know what I'm saying? Because they like to throw rocks and hide their hand. But I was like, everything don't have to be on camera, but I'm gonna start doing more on camera videos because it's like, nah, I'm being solid with what I'm saying, and I ain't got nothing to hide. So yeah, that's why I just something new. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you coming through, bro. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, y'all already know, Justin. If you don't, what is you doing? One of the kings of this YouTube stuff, bro. Y'all go to his channel and subscribe immediately. Hey, just put your link in the chat, bro. Put your link in the chat if you Oh wait, hold on, let me make sure. I forgot I'm on a new joint now, so I gotta oh yeah, hold up, let me booyah. I forgot I gotta wrench people up all over again. All right, there you go. You're strapped up. So now you can put that link in there. Yeah, bro, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, man, if y'all don't know Just, go to man, subscribe to his channel. Um, when I first met Just, I don't even remember exactly how many subs he had, but I met him early enough in his journey where he wasn't like a big channel yet, so to speak. Man, I done watched this dude grow into like something something serious. You feel me? Something serious, bro. He official out here. He official. The subs, the views, the participation in his lives, the consistency of interaction and all that good stuff. He a whole brand out here. And the stuff like that that inspires me. I always say this, I gotta give credit where it's due. My bro Just, my bro Southern T, them specifically, they helped a lot with me getting my channel off the ground. And then there's a few other brothers that like really inspired me. So, and those two are definitely part of it. So whenever they come around, I always gotta give them their flowers. I appreciate them a lot. They really inspired me a lot. Just pushed me a lot too to make content. He was like, just do it, bro. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? And then he went through this phase. He just started going crazy. Him and Southern T, man, they was putting out so much content. I'm like, dang, I felt like a bum. So I was like, okay, I gotta get on it. And lo and behold, my channel started growing too. Um, then I got hit with the foolishness from YouTube, and it kind of hurt your boy. You know what I'm saying? Set me back a little bit, but we back at it like crack addicts. You did. Oh, word. See, and he just hit a year. Bro. Y'all go check his channel, bro. He just hit a year, and go look at his interaction, bro. And he just now hit a year. That's called hustle. That's called grind. That's the kind of stuff like that's the kind of people I want to be like. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like him when I grow up. You know what I mean? Fact, bro, man. Oh, TNN over there, TSPN, like that, bro. Them names are so perfect for him because he is literally like on it. He is on it. Like he has content going all day. I, bro, hardest working man on YouTube as far as putting out just him and Blue, bro. Because Blue be on some other stuff. It's like Blue don't sleep. Blue do not sleep, bro. And my brother Southern T, he don't either. Every once in a while, he might catch a couple Z's on the live, but other than that, bro, they put out so much content. I'm like, but it's just so motivating. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, if he can do it, I can do it. I can do it. Yeah, man. Much love. Hey, listen, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. And I appreciate it. I'm gonna just stay on it with the, being consistent with the content. Is just the schedule be so crazy, but it's just, you know what I mean. You got to make stuff a priority and make sure you get it done, even when there's changes you got to adjust. So I'm gonna be honest, stay consistent with it. Start doing this content more. We're gonna build the community back up. Yes, sir. Get back to that 1K or get to that 1K. That's a fact. I believe it, bro. I believe it. But yeah, man, I ain't, what I'm saying, I was just talking, trying to give Tank his flowers, bro, because I've always been a big fan of Tank. I've always absolutely loved his work. I've always been a big fan of his boxing ability before people realize it. Like people act like he just learned how to box in the Esau Cruz fight. But I was a fan of his boxing ability before that. It was actually his boxing ability that made me a fan and not the power. Now, of course, Tank has ridiculous power. We all know that. And I'm not saying I don't like the power, because listen, bro, the power, we know what's up. But to me, what really made me a fan of Tank was his boxing ability, bro, and not just offensively but defensively too. And I was like, yo, he is so underrated as a boxer. The Esau Cruz fight happens, he breaks his hand and still dances on Buddy, and people finally see it. And it's like, bro, we've been new Tank a box, like. So I've been very critical of him in the past. Yeah, man. Hey, it's starting to get out there. Did he hop on your live the other day or something? Cause that'd be crazy if he like was in the chat or something like that. I mean, even if you just know he was watching, bro, that's crazy. But yeah, he'll if not, I'm sure he'll see it. I'm sure he'll see it, bro. Cause you at that point, you making noise, man. Your name ringing bells in these YouTube streets. Tank card fire too, bro. Bro, that's the other part I was gonna get to. Okay, so Just real quick, just to catch you up, I'm just giving Tank his props because as critical as I was of him when he kept re-signing with Floyd, now that it looks like he really has broken away, I want to give him all the respect in the world. Salute to Tank, bro. Salute, 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 salute. And we're not celebrating no negativity. We're not celebrating the breaking off a relationship with a brother or a mentor with him and Floyd. It's not about that. I'm just happy he's taking control of his career and getting to get these legacy fights that he's always wanted. Because we know it was Floyd holding him back, which is what we have been saying for years. For years. Floyd got that MJ bug, bro. The same thing that made him such a great competitor while he was active is terrible for him in the front office. Terrible because they can't stop seeing everyone as opponents, and you can't see your fighter as an opponent when you're a promoter. So let's get to the card. Man, this card here is like that's what I'm saying. This is a Tank appreciation video because I've done plenty of Tank uh negatively themed videos. We'll just say that. I always gave him his props in the ring, but you know, we giving him all his props out of the ring now too. Man, this card's so crazy, bro. When the news came out, I think I seen it. I was asleep and I woke up and I just happened to check some stuff and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? Bruh, this card here. It was how y'all seen that meme where it's Vince McMahon and they like got a list of stuff and the list gets progressively better. And Vince McMahon, like his reactions get crazier and crazier, and he be like having laser eyes and all kind of stuff on the last reaction. Like he'd be all back in his chair, all crazy, mouth all open, looking wild. But it looked like he just being overloaded with the awesomeness of the situation. Bro, that's how I was reading down Tank card, bro. So I'm like, okay, Tank and Hector Luis Garcia off top, at the top of the card. I know what's gonna happen, but I'm excited to see the fight anyway, man. Hey, hey, listen, we get into it. Chef Curry with the wrist, you feel me? But yeah, bro. So I got Tank and the real Garcia. I don't care about Ryan. Hector Luis Garcia is the real Garcia to me until Ryan fights somebody. All right, he is a Olympian, a unified champ. He's the real Garcia. Ryan is the fake. So Tank versus the real Garcia main event. I know Tank gonna knock him out, but it still should be a good fight. I'm with that. Then they start dropping the other names, bro, and it's like Boots co-main event. On the undercard, you got Speedy Rashidi Ellis on the undercard. The Petersons on the undercard. I'm like, yo, and as if that wasn't good enough, they gave us Christmas early. It's not often when you get a gift of something that you've been waiting for and hoping and praying for years, especially in boxing. It's not often that you get it in time for some of the best fights to still get made. It's not exactly, exactly. Back to back, the two best wins of his career, back to back, and two champions no less. Now, I understand, the complaint that it's at a different weight class. I get that. But considering now that we know, which we knew already, but now that we have confirmation that it was the money team and the Floyd and them that was holding back Tank's career, considering we now have that confirmation, it makes sense that that's the fight that he's making coming out of it because it's still in house. It's a trial run. So his first fight coming out away from Floyd, I wouldn't expect him to try to make a cross promotion mega event right away. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't expect him to try to hit up Top Rank and try to work that he trying to figure out you got to crawl before you can walk. So he's trying to even do his first event on his own. You know what I mean? So I see both sides of it. And considering who else is available at 135, there's not a lot of fights that we would have wanted to see anyway that were available at 135. So that's why I don't hate the Hector Luis Garcia fight because it's a product of its environment, if that makes sense. It's a product of what was available at the time, the landscape of the different weight divisions. So I'm not mad at considering what his options were. I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I mean? It's like who else is gonna fight? The people we want to see him fight at 35 is like all kind of tied up, except for Shakur. But again, that's cross promotion. So And even Frank Martin, he's in house, but he got a fight coming up against the other dude we want to see Tank fight, Michelle Rivera. So you know what I mean? Like what he had left, I ain't mad at Hector Luis at all. Like it could be much, much worse, but nah, he taking a real challenge, as far as like a legitimate fighter. And he bigger than Tank. He should have been on. I see. Hey, Hector Luis Garcia big to the mug. Hey, did you see when you see him in the face off, he way taller than Tank. But Tank still like you can tell like he a little more stocky than him. Like way more stocky. Like Tank head compared to Hector Luis Garcia head look crazy. Tank head way bigger than Hector Luis Garcia's. When they was in that face off, I was like, dang. Hector Luis Garcia look like he got a little peanut head up there next to Tank. A little big dude, a little tiny skull. Tank about to knock that joint clean off his skeleton, bro. Out of there. Goodbye. It's gonna look like a home run, like a Barry Bonds joint. It's gonna be out the building. Yeah, man. Like what was available, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me stop talking about people domes and stuff. But so we got the Hector Luis Garcia fight with Tank. I'm cool with that. You got Boots on the card. I'm always cool with seeing Boots fight. Then they say they got the Peterson brothers, and I'm like, some of the most underrated boxing talents that you can watch on an event. Then, out of wonder of wonders, Merry Christmas boxing, bro. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre is on the PBC, or at least on Showtime. Oh my God. You see, I was trying to leave it alone. Do like a whole bully breed up there. Hey, yeah, you know how them bulldogs, how they head be like almost as wide as their body? They're like, bro, his joint looked huge. I was like, bro, Hector Luis Garcia they better not accidentally headbutt each other. Hey, because that might be all she wrote. Hey, Hector, if he don't actually get dropped, he gonna be real woozy and Tank can just touch him after that. And it's over with. Like, bro, do not headbutt this man. Watch your head. Don't lead with your head at all, Hector. Hector, bro, listen to me. And you bald too, so like them bald dudes be thinking they head just super tough. They like to use it as a weapon, like it's like a battering ram or what's the a wrecking ball. You're swinging that joint around. Listen, bro, this ain't the one. This ain't the one. You swing that little head over there at Tank, and he catch you with that joint with his bruh. Facts, just a bully breed. Yo, he got a mastiff dome. Like if you breed a pit, a bulldog, a mastiff, and like a Presa Canario or something, Cane Corso. Yo, his joint looked crazy standing next to him. I was like, dang, man, he about to smoke this dude. Yeah, it's over. It's over. And Tank knew what time it was. You seen him put his fist up and he put his fist up in Hector's face, like, oh, look at this little tiny head dude. Like, I'm about to knock this little peanut head ass out. He out of here. And I agree, Tank. I agree. But yeah, back to Christmas is early, bro. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre available to fight in the PBC, bro. Oh my God. You know how many years, how many the days and the nights I've cried out to the boxing gods and screamed and railed at Boo Boo from my own home. Throw stuff at my TV every time I heard news that he did something else stupid business wise. Like he was almost about to be one of those dudes that his career narrative was destroyed simply because of the business moves. Like he wasn't gonna get none of the big fights because of that. But thank God, bro, he got there in time and still get some of these fights. And what you know, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade is on the tank card with the rest of these killers. Bro, I think I might have actually dropped my phone. Oh man, I almost did laps around my crib. I said, what? What? Hey, facts, man. Facts. Hey, what's the he got them tattoos of all them great apes on him and stuff. He be using the gorilla like his logo. Hey, he got one of the gorilla dome. You know how gorillas got like extra head? Like they got a gorilla head, and then they got like another like human skull lump on the top of their head. And they domes just be extra wild. Like that's Tank. Stop playing. See, why you keep, man, you keep trying to bring me back. I ain't doing it. That is terrible. Hey, I do not endorse this joke. I'm not laughing at it. I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's inappropriate and disrespectful. And yeah, these views do not reflect. This comment does not reflect the views of uncommentary proper or any of our related affiliates. Said, "Boy, that shit's some teeth." Still got milk teeth in their head, little puppy teeth. No, I'm not doing it. I said I'm not doing it. I'm leaving it alone. I'm done. I'm done. The little bulldog, yeah. See, why y'all doing this, bro? Why are y'all doing this? I'm trying to talk about Andre being on PBC. Y'all got me talking about this man. Don't. Listen. I'm sorry, Tank. It's not me. It's not me. I tried to move on. It's not me. The extra gorilla dome head. Hey, y'all gotta look at that face off and just look at them face to face with each other. It was like, dang. It looked like Tank was like a I don't even want to say it, bro. Yeah, I know how sometimes like I don't know what the correct term is, like little people or dwarves. Is that right? What's the y'all can some of y'all can educate me on what's the correct term these days in 2022. But like when like dwarves, a lot of times they be having like real big heads on their body. It almost kind of looked like that. Like the ratio was done. It was off. You know what I'm saying? Like the ratio was off. Like there was like too much skull for the size of his body. Like dwarfism, like ran in his family. Something like now he wasn't quite a dwarf, but like the gene ran in his family. Like there was a propensity for it, like in his line. Like one of his great uncles or something, like might have been a dwarf. You know what I'm saying? Or his grandfather, it was a little short. You know what I mean? Like there was a touch, just a little bit. Yeah, man, let Tank live with his huge gorilla dome, man. Let him live. He got dwarfism in his family. That we just figured it out, man. Case solved. It ain't Tank's fault. His great uncle, twice removed on his mother's side. You know what I'm saying? He was a dwarf or a little person. And they be having little bodies with real big heads. And so the gene just kind of been floating around in the family. It was like his great 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 grandfather or something like that too on that side was had it. So it like kind of come and go and it pop up randomly throughout the family line. So, it ain't no dwarf, but the traits, that's there. I think considering like he turned out all right. You know what I mean? Turned out all right. And that head serves you well because Tank got a crazy chin too. So there you go. There you go. Uh but yeah, man, shout out to Andre for buckling down and doing what Bud Crawford didn't do. Just sign over there. Again, got to keep it consistent. Just like I went at Bud for not doing the Devin Haney and signing the deal to fight Earl. If the contract really was messed up, but it seems like he's contradicting himself and it wasn't messed up. He just didn't want to fight him. That's how it seems. I got to give Andre props because I've been on his helmet for years. Like, what are you doing, man? He over there on the shelf on the zone. Excuse me. He over there on the shelf on the zone for God knows how long, fighting bum after bum, pulling out of fights. The Charlo thing, he was infamous. Uh, just I'm again, just y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. I'm just because again, this is not about dogging Boo. This is about giving him props. So y'all know the history of all the silly things he's done, but seeing that he made the move and actually went over there and is getting busy right away. Like he made the move and he's on a card. And he's on a card with Tank. And he's on a card with Boots. And he's on a card with Speedy. And he's on a card with the Peterson. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he getting cracked right away. And word on the block is they setting up the Charlo fight. Now, if that's true, like I'm already hyped just because he's over there, just because he made the move. Man, if it's true that they really setting up for him to fight Charlo next, bro, I might cry. I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be so happy. Pay-per-view card for sure, man. You talking pay-per-view? What? Take my money. I was talking to wifey the other day, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to reach out to the family and see if I can, if 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 words in the street is correct, and we can get the plug on some of these tickets. And listen, like I might be trying to be there in person. This joint looks historic, like it's that good. I want to go to this card, like pay per view. Yeah, I want to pay per view in person, PPVIP. You understand? I'm trying to see this joint with my own eyes. I want to have to dodge somebody blood from getting knocked. Like when they get hit in that whole shower of sweat spray, I'm trying to have to pull up an umbrella so I don't get showered with sweat. I'm trying to see somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see something. You know what I'm saying? Boots, Tank. You know they all gonna stretch something. So I'm trying to be there. The Petersons, like, bruh, that card gonna be so crazy. That card gonna be crazy. Bro, can you imagine? And just think of the highlights. You Speedy too. Speedy, the Peterson, bro. That's gonna be a showcase. That's historic. This is a historic card. Shout out to Tank, bro. Shout out to Tank. Now, I shouldn't do this. Hey, you know what I'm saying, Just? Hey, you been in some fights, so you know what I'm saying. Hey, I'm trying to be like a like ringside at a Mortal Kombat joint. You know what I mean? Like you gotta dodge. I ain't gonna say that sounds kind of sus, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying. You gotta worry about keeping clean from people getting punched. I almost said something that would have sounded crazy. Y'all goofies would have jumped all over that. But yeah, that's man. This card is historic. Now, I think as a boxing community and just speaking on boxing events that are happening near each other, around each other, in the vicinity, close to each other, you know, with two superstars who have been drawn back and forth with each other, I think it's only fair that we compare Tank's card and Bud Crawford's card. Raise your hand if you would rather pay $40 for Bud's card or pay $80 for Tank's card. Yeah, me. I would rather. I'd rather pay probably $100 or $120 for Tank's card and pay $40 for Bud's card. And I'm listen. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just talking about from a boxing fan standpoint, the quality of work that you being shown. Man, that Tank card is crazy. That list of names is crazy. That's crazy, bro. Tank, Boots, Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, Speedy Rashidi Ellis, and Demetrius Andre. What? Bro, that sounds like something out of a fantasy. That sounds like if like you talking to the homies and y'all just having an open conversation, like, man, what would be one of the craziest cards you would like to watch? Like, what's one of the craziest cards you would put together? That sounds like something one of us would put together. like, man, if I just had endless money and I could put whatever, man, I'll do a card in DC with Tank, the Petersons. I'll bring Boots out there. I'll bring Speedy out there so we can, start building him and the Boots fight, put them on the same card. And you know what? I'll bring Boo Wandrade over to the PBC Showtime and I put him on the card too. Like that don't even sound real. And this man Tank made it happen, bro. Immediately after breaking away from Floyd, we get this. Boom. That's why I made that meme. That Yu-Gi-Oh joint. That's who he is right now. Tank is Yugi. He done slammed down the Blue Eyes White Dragon on him. Bow. Activated the trap card. Got him. Like, yo, this pay-per-view is gonna do so well. Like Tank already does well on his own, even against opponents who are, not big names. He's already proven that. But with all these other killers on the card who are known, who generate interest and buzz, like individually they may not be big stars, but all of them collectively being on a card together, and that the exponential increase of the energy around it, with all of them being stars in their own right as far as notoriety, and man, and it's gonna draw so many extra eyes. It'll help them to become stars because people will be watching the card for the enormity of it. Like, and so people who may know who Boots is but don't really know about Boo, they're gonna get to see him. The people who just rock with the Petersons heavy, but they don't really know about Speedy, they're gonna get to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing. I'm so proud of them all day, bro. All day. I'm so proud of them for making this card. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If the only thing I would complain about, I just wish it could be Boots and Stanionis for that WBA. But we see what happened there. We see what they did. Did the dash on my man. Did Boots dirty. Did Boots dirty. But he is getting the IBF interim in this, so that's still pretty cool, which is basically the equivalent of what Stanionis has. That WBA regular might as well just be the interim or something. But let's see. I said the same exact thing. If ain't gonna sell, then you got three fighters that could headline a card by themselves: Boots, Andre the Tank. Facts. Not just that, and just not just three fighters that could headline a card. Three fighters that have and have done it more than once. Like you talking about, that's a fact. You got to think about that, y'all. Think about the trash they be serving us on these other networks. Some of these cards we get that have like a big name on it. It'll have like one big name. The headliner will be the main event will be one big name versus like an okay dude, and then on the undercard it may be like one really good prospect, and then the rest be trash. Like we be getting some trash cards. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, some of them are decent, but Top Rank does some decent cards when they just like overload all the prospects on there, but they're still prospects. You know what I'm saying? They're still prospects. Like it's it's not like they're all stars. So and it works well for their model for building their talent, but we be getting some trash cards. And we do and like I was just speaking for myself, I do a lot of complaining about the quality of cards that we get. So I'm going to do the same amount of celebration when we get something that's so far from trash. Bro, like this card is crazy. I hope y'all appreciate this, man. Bro, facts, bro. Like I hope boxing fans appreciate this, and not just people who are like Tank supporters like myself, or who are a little bit more hardcore boxing fans, not so much casuals. Like even some of the hardcore fans, I hope they appreciate this the kind of card that this is. This is bananas. This is crazy. It, bro. This card deserves all the props in the world. All the props in the world. I would not be surprised if this card does 400,000 pay-per-view buys. And I might be overshooting him. I might be being generous. I wouldn't be surprised if it did somewhere, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it cracked 500,000. I wouldn't be surprised. And Tank's already the A side. So, he's already the A side. So he do a card and he can do somewhere between 350 and 500. It just further cements himself. You know what I mean? He just further cements himself as the A side, and he need to start sending out contracts, bro. After these two fights, if he does, crazy numbers with this card with everybody on it, and then he knocks out Ryan Garcia, which is even going to increase his profile more. Not as much as people think, because I believe the popularity of Ryan is somewhat of a mirage. But it'll still increase his profile. So after these two things, if he sells 400,000 pay per views with this, then knocks out Ryan, bro, it solidifies his A side status to a degree of like, I mean, it's already, you can't argue it already. So it would just, yeah, he'd be the man, the man, bro, the man. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what the future holds. Once again, I'm trying not to just keep y'all too long, man. Try to keep this short and sweet. But I don't really have too much else to talk about. This is just a Tank appreciation video. I want to again give him all the props in the world for making the move and stepping out on his own, being his own man, taking control of his career. I want to give him all the props in the world for this card that they just dropped. It is bananas, bro. It's bananas. I can't, man. I hope people appreciate this when it happens. I and my prayer is that we're able to get to it and get through without any mishaps. The card is so stacked. I just, I'm praying for health and safety for all the fighters on there, that we don't have no injuries or illnesses, so no one has to pull out. But it's so stacked that even if there is a pullout on the card, someone has, gets an injury, or someone catches the Rona or something. It's still it's still crazy. Like it wouldn't even hurt it too much. And who knows what they would get to replace it, seeing what type of time they on, the energy that they use. So and they probably replace it with something else crazy. So I just salute to Tank and his team. Salute to GTD. Salute for breaking out on your own, young man, young sir. You listen to the fans, doing what's best for your career, cementing your legacy. Um, I hope that this is the start of a new direction and he continues in this vein. And after the two Garcias, then we get, you know, continue to get great fights. He continues to on an upward trajectory and continues to get chase fights that will build his legacy, um, and not just the bottom line. Because we know he about that money and it is prize fighting, so definitely get paid, sir. But again, with his age, Tank getting up there, he's sneaking up on us. He almost 30. So get them legacy fights, King. Continue on this upward trajectory. Salute to you for this card. It is historic. I hope everyone appreciates this, and I can't wait to see what's next, man. After he knocks Hector Garcia unconscious, if Ryan Garcia doesn't pull out of the fight, when Tank knocks Ryan unconscious, I can't wait to see what he does next. I can't wait to see if he does get that Ryan fight. I can't wait to see that card. Like if this is what he's doing right now with Hector Luis Garcia, like what is he gonna do if he fights Ryan? That card, God. But yeah, so let's just hope he continues with this direction. I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you so much for rocking with your boy. Um, you know, all your support is greatly appreciated. Hit the comments. Let me know what you think. I'll try to make sure I interact with everybody if you do leave a comment and everything. And I'll see y'all next time, man. We're gonna keep talking this box and keep pushing this thing forward. And let's keep getting it's a good energy in box. We about to get Dev versus Loma. Tank's a free man now, putting on a crazy card. Shakur's at 135 now. You know what I mean? We might, looking like we can be getting might be getting some good things happening at 135. Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin are fighting. You know what I mean? Like the winds have changed. So let's keep this going in a positive direction. Thank y'all for your time and attention. Peace.